must be supported in this regard. I am keenly following the speed at which the SWAPO manifesto is implemented by the Madam President and your administration, and therefore we as the youth will make sure that on the 26th of November 2025 we will come to the polling stations in big numbers to ensure that this manifesto will be fully implemented on all levels of government. Thank you.
Okay, comrades, just to emphasize on this one, please, let's keep it short. The background that you are giving is too long. It's like it's becoming a speech. So give a little bit of that background, then you go straight to your question, please.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia and there of the SWAPO Party of the Republic of Namibia. Viva SWAPO Party, viva! Viva, comrades, viva! My name is Sean Shura Winston. I am having following questions. Regard to education, first of all, NYC, National Youth Council. National Youth Council trainees that have been trained for 6 or 1 year has not had any recognition to NDF or to the Namibian Police Force. What is the President planning to do of those youth that have been trained? Service. Secondly, I would like to ask the President, Your Excellency, the youth in Kekenagap, here in Hardap region, many years has been passed that our youth that have been trained there did not get recognition or they are not being recognized in terms of validated papers, AQA. So what is the government currently doing? What is the plan to accredit our youth center here at Kekenagap? Thirdly, my President, I have taken note that our inmates, our youngsters, our young brothers, our pioneers, that have done wrong to the law, are being captured with the same criminals in one cell. What are we planning to do with police cells regarding the Hardap region? The lack of holding cells in Hardap region. What are we planning to do? Because Hardap itself is already occupied, so what are we planning to do? Fourthly, name posts. Name posts has been an institution for many years. And now our grandparents and our mothers and fathers and sons are facing a death or a lack of respect without toilets, facilities to do themselves right. My Presidency, I ask you, please to check into that matter as well. I thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Comrade Rodriguez. Your Excellency, thank you for creating this platform. For youth, our contributions focus on practical solutions that can uplift the young people and strengthen national development. And I also need to highlight this, that I'm a member of the SWAPO Youth League think tank. For decades, Hardap region has contributed to national development, yet we still do not have a university or even a fully established tertiary education institution. What concrete steps are being taken to ensure that Hardap finally receives a higher education facility so that our youth do not have to migrate or drop out due to distance or cost? The youth have spoken, they have asked that they want to study in Hardap. They do not want to go to Commerce region. They do not want to go to Karas. We want a UNAM or a NAST or an IUM here. Come next year, Your Excellency. We want to study in Hardap. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'd like to just concur with my sister that spoke before me that said the issue that is to do with the health sector. I'm coming from Gibeon, and we face a lot of challenges locally there with the health sector also. the fact that there are no medications, sometimes there are really no medications. People are told to go back because medication is lacking, and people are crippled because there's no vehicle to take people from there to here, because the only place to go is Mariental. And even in Mariental, there are lacks of some medicational tools to use to help people. And last year something happened. Last year my brother was stabbed in Gibeon, and then they had to rush him here. But because there is nothing to help him, first aid, no tool to help him drain the blood because he was draining inwardly, so he was rushed here, and then it was late also. So these are the type of things that we need to, please, I'm asking the Honorable in absentia, the Minister of Health, to look into. Plus the other two, what stops the government to help us, the locals there, who has a fountain in our place? We have a well there. Why can we not use water or the help of the government to just upgrade for us the fountain there, so we can just get water supply from our own place? Plus, just an extension on that, a shopping mall or a complex in the sense of an SME park or something, please. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm Hans, the incoming council of the Gibeon Village Council. My question is actually, maybe through you, Madam President, to the Minister of Finance, as someone that studied economics, more on fiscal policy, and something that I'm a little bit worried about, in fact. I'm just looking at some of the articles that I actually read. The Namibian government cannot even sell long-term bonds, basically, bonds beyond, that goes beyond year 2040, let's say, and that's a bit of a struggle, I guess, which seems to indicate that the market is not confident about the fiscal sustainability of the government. And Madam President, we as the SWAPO Party, and you, of course, have put up a very ambitious targets in the SWAPO Party manifesto, especially for the young people for the next 5 years. And there needs to be some kind of fiscal sustainability, but unfortunately when it comes to the revenue side, the mining sector is struggling a little bit. There is a reduction in terms of tax revenue, especially in the midterm review. My question is basically, are there means for the government? What is the government doing in order to diversify revenue? But not only that, how can the government actually try to do certain things, especially with the last month redemption of the Eurobond? There was actually a lot of rumors, approaching basically there were nerves from the government side, and they actually had to, apart from the sink fund, they had to sort of at the very last minute come up with funds from the financial sector in Namibia in order to redeem the bond. But mine is actually more of generally implementing this agenda. How can we diversify the revenue, and how can we actually sort of gain some credibility when it comes to sales of government bonds? Thank you, Madam President.
I'm Abigail Scraver. Salute, praise, and appreciate Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, committed, transparent of the youth, our future leaders. This outstanding sign of coaching and leadership building humbly informed the 8th Parliament and Honourable Ministers that Hardap region has, before 2020, submitted the following: light of the people of the South. Many of the NDP6 or SWAPO manifesto priorities are addressed there in this document of development plan was submitted to then OPM. May we resubmit this document, or will the 8th Parliament get it from the OPM? Second question, tenders. including GRN centers, regional council, local council, government, ministers, Hardap, must also open up for our youth. Currently, only senior government officials are given and social responsibilities. Why not to the youth? Open up for the youth. This means by 18 about or a certain age extent. The third question, we have a high rate of unemployment in our country, especially here this side. Stones are many in Gibeon and Malta and need value addition. Those are our goals for our employment generation. I thank you. And one, in conclusion, Madam President, you are doing amazing.
What is? This paper. Okay. 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 Let me skip the part where of the salutations. It reads, Comrade President humbly informed the 8th Parliament and the Honorable Ministers that Hardap region has, before 2020, submitted the following documents. Light of the people of the South. I'm reading light, ne? Okay, so it's plight. Okay, so the plight of the people of the South, many of the NDP 6. Okay, I'm trying to connect it. Okay, many of the NDP 6 and SWAPO manifesto priorities are it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Humbly inform the 8th Parliament and honorable ministers that Hardap region has, before 2020, submitted the following. Plight of the people of the South. Many of the NDP 6 or SWAPO manifestos prioritized are addressed in this document or developed plan was submitted. May we resubmit this document, or will the 8th Parliament get it from the OPM? Tenders, including GRN tenders, regional councils, local council, government ministries, government Hardap region must also open up for the youth for tenders, based on tenders. The third one, we have a high rate of unemployment in our region, proven by statistics. Stones are many in Gibeon and Malta and need value addition. These are our goals for unemployment and creation. I thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable President. I just want to advise in the area of education. We want the Honorable President to please revive the whole education system. In the absence of corporal punishment, we are experiencing high level of dropouts. We are experiencing discipline issues at school and also high level of failure rate. So we want the Honorable President to give us an ultimatum. We as teachers have tried all the alternatives, but it's not effective. So we want an effective ultimatum to use to instill discipline. We have spoke about youth is for tomorrow, youth is today. all of that is impossible without education. I've done a research whereby I've developed a product, it's called RED. RED, it represents reasonable discipline. This is the process in which the government will design a module that the teachers and the educators can use to discipline, but it's regulated in terms of how to use it and where to use it. I thank you.
Her Excellency, Madam President. So, my question is about the vocational graduates that are just in the streets. So, in the government circulars, they don't include the vocational graduates. Every time, or most of the circulars, we don't really see vacancies for the vocational graduates. So, is the government going to include them in the government circulars? And the second question is, we have a poor network in Hardap region. So, is the government through the Ministry of ICT going to provide full network coverage in Hardap? I thank you.
Blessed Sunday to all comrades. My name is Simon Pandeni Chihepo. I'm from Daveb. My question is on Maltie Wavis Bay Tired Road. It's long delay and has held back growth in Maltie and denied young people opportunities. Completing that road wouldn't just connect towns. It will unlock development and ease the burden of young unemployment or youth unemployment. The second question is on education. Are postgraduates also going to be free next year? Because as we the youth, want to give quality education to the Namibian child. So, for example, other countries like Finland, educators are having master degrees. Is it also going to be free? I thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, distinguished leaders and guests. I am Anushka Oran. I'm currently an unemployed graduate who holds an honors degree in English, Applied Linguistics and Communications, as well as a certificate in Basic Life Support Emergency Care. I have 4 years of writing experience, voluntarily taught for 15 months, and 8 months served in emergency care unpaid. I stand here carrying the voices of many who are qualified but unemployed, and others who never had the chance to study yet dream just as fiercely, and students who wonder if their education will actually pay off. Your Excellency, I'm not asking for a handout, but a hand in partnership. I want a say in research and implementation and in policy writing and daily decision making. Because after graduation, too many young people remain unemployed or underutilized. Some are turning to risky behaviors, and the gap between what we study and job opportunity is growing wider. Your Excellency, I would like to share some thoughts, a few, not too much, on how we can create opportunities, support vulnerable communities, and make our policies more effective. Paid internships and apprenticeship programs have shown 60 to 80% employment conversion in countries elsewhere. To bridge this gap, we propose the removal of the high years of experience barrier and create paid internships and apprenticeships across all fields of study at the certificate level, diploma level, and degree level. This ensures students gain real work experience while studying and transition into employment seamlessly without being blocked by the high years of experience requirement. Secondly, The C1 license for paramedics is currently mandatory, but it puts a financial strain on medics and slows employment. Making it optional would remove a barrier and help more medics enter the workforce. We could also have a national paid youth policy review system. Before any government document is published, it should be reviewed by youth representatives, because this ensures that policies reflect the perspectives and realities of young people. So my question is, under NDP 6, with 10,985 out of 11,000 applicants for the National Youth Fund being rejected, thousands of youth still unemployed despite education, youth policy labs struggling for sustainable funding, community-supported rehab programs ready to expand, and the potential for paid internships and apprenticeships across all sectors. How will the NDP 6 ensure that these investments lead to real opportunities, bridging the gap between education and meaningful jobs, while partnering with churches and communities to provide rehabilitation, safe spaces, and a practical path into work, and reconsider regulations like optional C1 paramedic licensing, while also supporting the elders who sustain our households? Thank you.
I acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency May Oma Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, and I stand on the protocol as already established. My first question is based on job and economic opportunities. What concrete plans exist to help young people transition from schools to meaningful employment rather than unemployed internships and unstable work? The second one is, how will government support youth internships and make it easier for young innovators to access funding? My second question is health and mental health based. Ecology patients have to travel from their regions all the way to Windhoek to get health care. Can we not get something in each region that will help ecology patients to be held properly? And what national strategy is being implemented to address the mental health crisis amongst young people? And how will the government support safe social environments, both online and offline, for young people? And my powerful closing question is, if Meme Netumbo could give one piece of advice to young people about shaping the future of our country, what would it be, and how will the government support you in helping us doing it? I thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Comrade Boyce from David constituency. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, as well as the top leadership. I have only two questions. First one will be go to the President, and the second one will be go to the Minister of Youth as well. To our President, I'm coming from a place where our forefathers also played a big role towards our independence that we have and celebrate today. So I want the President to visit as well our place called Malta here and surrounding, and interact with our people there. It's unfortunately we don't have the veterans from our constituency as well. We have, but only few are only acknowledged. So we want the President to come and visit us there in Davip as well. The second and last one be to the Ministry of Education, Youth. Those who do not have the school or the grades, we feel left out. If we came to the criteria, like now we have also the problem with the youth loan program that was underway. Some of us are excluded because of the requirements and so on, but our youth there, what plans are there for our youth who do not have the classes or the school? And we have many of the dropouts in our constituency as well. So we want the ministry to look into it. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency and the protocol that has been established earlier. My name is Miguel Low, and I have two questions. One for the Minister of Youth. Sports play a vital role in the holistic development of young people, fostering not only physical fitness but also teamwork, discipline, and social cohesion. In regions like Hardap, providing opportunities for youth to engage in sport can empower them, keep them healthy, and open pathways to talent recognition at national and even international levels. Access to proper facilities, structured programs, and competitive platforms is essential for nurturing young talent and ensuring that no potential goes unnoticed. So my question goes as follows. What initiatives or programs is the Ministry of Youth implementing in the Hardap region to promote sports participation among young people? And how are you supporting talent development, access to facilities, and competitive opportunities? My second question goes, as Namibia's economy evolves, especially with the rise of technology and digital industries, our youth need education that equips them not only with knowledge, but also with practical skills, creativity, and problem-solving abilities to thrive in the modern job market. How is the education system being aligned with the needs of the Namibian job market and the fourth industrial revolution? I thank you.
Viva SWAPO, viva! Viva SWAPO, viva! Viva SWAPO, viva! Comrades, colleagues, Comrade Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, I very much appreciate the opportunity. And first and foremost, I would like to introduce myself. I am politically known as Motlavakius Cristiano Peters, agriculturally known as Motla Motinga. I am a second-year scholar at the University of Namibia, a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science student. I am a member of the SWAPO Party Youth League, Maltahoe District. And historically, as we all know, Maltahoe has been established and founded within the mid-1700s to the 1800s. And yet, our town is basically going by unnoticed. First and foremost, I would like to address my first question to the Ministry of Tourism. As we all know, Maltahoe is surrounded by more than 54 lodges, and yet the youth are not being given preference. Then following that, the lodges are not using our facilities. We have hospitals, we have shops, we have a clinic, we have a NAMPOST, we have banking systems, but our facilities are not being used by these lodges and so forth. Going forward, I wanted to address the Ministry of Agriculture. Malta Hohe, Malais is very rich. Malais is rich in agriculture, but Malais is going unnoticed. Boreholes are overloading. People are farming. People are farming on their residence. Going by house, you will notice that there are kraals made next to the shacks. These people are not getting access to land. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to graze? How are they going to sustain themselves? Because they cannot grow. Without land, you cannot grow. Honorable pardon me. Her Excellency, Comrade President. Moving forward, we have the Trans-Kalahari Railway line that was supposed to be constructed, and yet nothing has been done so far. That railway line was supposed to go from Walvis Bay up until Lutritz. And that inevitably would have contributed to youth unemployment. These such situations are things that we are facing on a daily basis. Comrades, I do not want to waste time, but as well, if there are individuals that have traveled along the Malta Hohe road, you will notice that this road is smooth and based on the landscape of the town. Saku, South African, what is this? South African, yes, the ones, the mobile, the ones, the automobile manufacturers, they were there. They wanted to construct the aerodynamics road. This was presented to the council and nothing was done afterwards. We are still waiting. Moving forward, we don't have any recreational facilities for the youth. The youth are scattered. Okay. Yes, I have a lot to say, but due to time's sake, yes, I will insist on coming back. Thank you very much.
Good day to Her Excellency and her faithful team. Good day, my comrades and friends, sympathizers and supporters. First and for all, my question actually is not a question. It's a question or like a problem with a solution. It's about food security. In our country, starvation and hunger is a route to poverty and a lot that we can think of. As human beings, we are classified as animals in the animal kingdom, and all animals have instincts. Where you are hungry, where the nation is hungry, crime will increase. Crime rates increase, everything increases, and then our ministries and all those things are getting pressure from the people. So food security based on agriculture. For example, I have a small business. I'm buying my own seeds and I'm planting food, like fruits and veggies and vegetable gardens for the people that can pay me, for my clients. And for the less privileged, I am giving back. While not registering my business, I'm already giving back to my community. To the less privileged, I'm planting these gardens of spinach and those seeds that I have bought. So I'm asking Ministry of Agriculture throughout the whole Namibia to start working on food security, because a hungry nation can't complete its mission. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the round of the floor. I acknowledge the excellency of Her Excellency Ms. Mariental Netumbo. My question is just based on, we are targeting on the youth. So my question is on on what is going to happen to us which go out of the youth right now. We are the elder veterans. What will be happened with us? That's my question. Thank you for the round of applause.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Her Excellency, Madam President, honorable ministers and Hardap regional executives and comrades. My name is Tia Vambo, Rehoboth Urban East. My question today is regarding job creation. What is the government doing to attract industries and investors to Hardap that can create decent jobs for young people? Plus, many rural youth lack access to quality internet connectivity and digital tools. I thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, and all protocol acknowledged as well and established. My name is Jennifer Straightwolf from Stambridge. My question first goes to Ministry of Education. We are facing a hard battle. I will not say we are experienced, we are facing and we are fighting a hard battle, whereby we are having scarcity of teachers at Stambridge Combined School, whereby some community members are being asked to look after the kids, whereby teaching is not taking place, whereby our learners are failing, whereby we are having higher rate of failures being in streets, whereby our dropouts is too much on streets, whereby drugs and alcohol are running through Stambridge. I think it's drugs and alcohol taking over our place, whereby qualified teachers are there. The second one is we need the lower primary in the location from grade 0 to 7 and from grade 8 to 10 at least. Comrade Excellency President Netumbo 19 Taitwa, can you please, our president, look into our problem and the hard battle we are fighting in Stambridge? The other one is we do not have an ambulance for years. I'm even getting old now, whereby our people needs to go with their own transport to the next health center. What happens in times of emergencies? We lose lives. And the last is my proposal, as our place is having boreholes. We are busy with our agriculture plan, roots plans, we are exporting, things are going. But my proposal would be for the young people. We want to purify our water and then bottle it, export and sell it in bulk quantities, and then generate income as well as jobs. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Okay, thank you very much. We have concluded that round of questions. So we need now absolute silence for us to get the answers that we are seeking. I humbly request you, please. So, over to the panel.
I can use this one. Okay, this one. Just keep this.
I bring that one.
I think everyone is hungry, almost like myself. Yes. So I will best attempt to not only be brief, but equally be concise and I just ask for your indulgence for a few minutes. These were very good questions. I have about 15 questions noted down. One or two of them will touch on some of my colleagues. Equally, the questions that have been posed to Her Excellency, I shall try to speak to. And of course, I will not rush when we are finished. And I'm most willing to have a conversation hereafter. Now, I need to immediately speak to the very last question because I wasn't happy. And I ask for your attention. I wasn't happy because some few of our comrades were clapping when we said there's alcohol and drug abuse at a school in the region. And we take that very seriously. Now, I can appreciate that we want to say this school requires immediate intervention. And as you may have seen me on my phone, I promise you I wasn't sending funny messages. Immediately, I already engaged the regional director, and we will investigate specifically the questions around Stampede Combined School. So now, allow me to try to answer at least each question that was posed to the Ministry of Education. The first one spoke to the unemployed teacher dynamic that we face. And I want to give a little bit of data because I think that will give some context. So in 2024, which we all know was last year, as a responsible and caring government, we employed 4,200 new teachers. However, we can also appreciate that perhaps that's not enough. In this financial year, which is 2025, up until the end of March next year, again, we've employed an additional 2,000 teachers. Now, we appreciate and we understand that there are higher levels of unemployed graduate teachers. We've had engagements at the ministry. It's been escalated to Her Excellency's office. And as a collective, we're trying to find solutions to employing more teachers. But the reality is, everyone that studies education is not guaranteed a job. That is the reality. And I need to also be honest. It does not mean that that job is not coming tomorrow. But the reality that we need to face and we need to be honest with is that we have higher levels of youth unemployment than what we want. But we can also appreciate that from approximately 33,000 teachers in the system, we've appointed more than 5,000 over the last year and a half. Now, the second question spoke to pre-voc or pre-vocational subjects. And I had to quickly fact check, do we still have pre-vocational subjects in our schools? The answer is yes, but not enough schools offer pre-vocational subjects. And I quickly want to highlight some of those subjects. Agricultural science, entrepreneurship, home economics, fashion fabrics, hospitality, technical drawings, technical studies, visual arts, computer studies. Now, I once upon a time was an entrepreneurship teacher, and I like to advocate for entrepreneurship at any given platform. And I also want to call out my own comrades that are part of this organizing committee. Can comrade, my brother, you're deep in thought there. I want the water. I want you just to show these comrades of ours this water bottle. Please, I'm not happy. Just raise the bottle. Where's that bottle coming from? Like you can put down. You can see it says Bonakwa. Where's this bottle coming from? Not from Namibia. Why are we buying water that's not from Namibia? So we do not have water in Namibia. Is that a yes or a no? So when we talk about entrepreneurship and we talk about growth at home, we should not be buying South African water. It's really that simple. So there's no water in the Hardap region, Honorable Governor. We have water. I wish that the next time I come here, I can drink water in a bottle from a shop from the region. Thank you. Now, Miss Jennifer, I don't know where you're sitting. Maybe just you can raise your hand. I think you asked the third, or maybe there's another Jennifer. You're over there. That's fine. I want to correct you. You said, and I quoted you, when you went to one of the development, or rather to the development bank, my apologies, to Agribank, you said, I'm not employed, I'm just a farmer. Yeah, please correction. Never say that again. Yeah. You are self-employed and you are a scaling farmer. Yeah? Let's clap for you. Now, I'm almost certain that our Honorable Minister of Finance will also speak to the National Youth Fund. But I want to at least just help her a little bit. So this fund, which was commissioned by Her Excellency, is a 257 million fund for now. It's intended to be a 500 million fund specifically for young people, for the youth. But when you say that collateral was your challenge, or is your challenge, because we need some owner's equity, this specific fund speaks to young people that do not have collateral. Now, if your challenge is a business plan, and please forgive me, everyone, please forgive me, I'm going to help you particularly with your business plan, Ms. Jennifer, yeah? And I ask for forgiveness because I'm sure many others will say, but coach, I also want your help with my business plan. But today, Jennifer, at least when we leave, we will exchange information and I will assist you because perhaps it's not that your business opportunity or idea is not scalable. Maybe it's the paperwork that needs a little bit of refinement. Yeah? Thank you. Now, there was a question around the National Youth Service, NYS, and the question was, what happens to the recruits once they complete the training? Now, I was very privileged and fortunate. I went with Her Excellency, our Vice President, to both the campuses. And what I can tell you is that there are NQA accredited courses that are being taken up by these recruits while they're still in the system. And of course, the hope and the intention is that this should be the base when we're recruiting into the security cluster. But I also don't think it's fair to exclusively say that graduates of NYS must be recruited into the security cluster. But I just wanted to make that comment to say we had 750 graduates from the previous calendar year coming out of NYS, and a large chunk of them have already been off-taken or uptaken into our security cluster. Now, there was a question, I think you started your question around fintech, but then you didn't really go into financial technology, you went into education. What I want to share, and I think you'll appreciate that I'm here to be honest. I'm not here to only tell you what you want to hear. Now in Namibia, we have 927,000 learners in country for this year, 2025. In the Hardap region, we have 30,163 learners. Now that amounts to just over 3% of the national population of learners in the region. That's just for some context, okay? We then have 64 schools in the region. Now the question was asked, and you were very passionate. Where's the young man? Just raise your hand. If he's not here, I won't answer his question. He's there, okay. You were very passionate about we need institutions of higher learning in the region. And I agree with you. I think nobody would stand here and say, no, the population is a bit too small. But I want you to appreciate the 3% of the learners in country are from the region. And it's always going to be a demand and supply. But what our governor told us in the briefing, Governor, can I quote you? What our honorable governor informed us is that the University of Namibia are bringing a delegation very soon. Tomorrow? Tuesday. And the conversation is going to continue around agricultural campus, if I'm not mistaken, in Mariental, but equally in the region. In Hardap, yeah. Lingua College is also opening its doors in Rehoboth, which is in the region. We have roots that are also at an advanced stage. If I'm not mistaken, for NQF, please don't quote me on that one. That one I'm not certain of, Governor. But I do want to say we have 8 constituencies in the region that you know. This is your region. And of those 8 constituencies, we know that 3 are from Rehoboth and 2 are from Mariental. So that already tells us 5 are from the 2 towns, plus the additional 3. That gives us 5 towns, if I can call it that we need to do more work to ensure that institutions of higher learning are in those 5 towns. So I agree with you, but I also want us to appreciate the numbers. It's a numbers game. But I'm very excited to hear of UNAM coming to the region, hopefully very soon. In addition, we've got, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Kai Kanahap. I know there's some clicks in there that are missing, right? And that Youth Skills Training Center, and this is something I can say on record, it is going to be fully fledged VTC very soon. Now, I'm conscious that my colleagues also want the opportunity to speak. There was questions around the high sort of levels of dropouts, and I think there was a proposition of reasonable discipline. I've taken note. I'm cautious not to comment. I think corporal punishment is not going to come back into schools, but I can appreciate that we do have to have new innovative ideas around discipline in schools. So happy to have that conversation offline. Now, there was an unemployed young lady that spoke of her journey, and she was very sincere in sharing that it's a challenge as a graduate to find employment. Once upon a time, I was also an unemployed graduate. I think you're sitting over there. And what I wanted to tell you is that as a responsible government, we have paid internships and apprenticeships. But I know that's not going to make you leave here today smiling. And you said that you volunteered for a number of months without being remunerated. And I say to you, the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? And I also want to tell you as a young person, and I can assure you that as a young person, the harder you work, the luckier you are going to get. And so before I leave here today, I'd love to have a conversation with you. We're not here to promise anyone jobs, but we are here to say, can we connect you maybe where you're struggling to make that connection, right? And I also want to just tell you that you're appreciated, okay? I'm almost done. NAMCOL, I think we should all know about the Namibia College of Open Learning. Now, they only have, I say only, they only have 4 regional offices, but it represents all 121 constituencies. So the question around school dropouts, the questions around how do we, and I think the note that I took down here, there was minimum requirements issue that was raised. We need to have minimum requirements because that ensures quality education. Without minimum requirements, the quality is very poor. And I want us to take full advantage of NAMCOL. I was there recently. I'm very excited about the NQF qualifications that they have, and I'd advise that the young people strongly consider the Namibia College of Open Learning. Now, my last contribution is that of sport facilities. Now, this is where I get excited. Her Excellency said, I'm the coach, and I'm truly excited about sports infrastructure. But I also need to be honest. It's not at the speed that is expected. And so, yes, we've been in office since 22nd of March, and you can say, Coach, we want to see hundreds of stadiums yesterday, and I'll tell you that I also want to see those stadiums. But in each constituency, a promise that we've made to Namibia, not only to our SWAPO comrades, is that we shall have a basic sport infrastructure in each of our 121 constituencies. Now, whether we clapped or we didn't clap, this is a deliverable for my minister and myself. And I can assure you, not a week goes by that we're not talking about sport infrastructure. Now, Mariental, as the capital of the region, is one of the beneficiaries for this financial year for CAF Category 2 football stadium with a 10,000-seater capacity. But even though you're clapping, you might also say, Coach, this year is almost finished, right? We talk of the financial year, we talk of March 2026, and I can tell you that if it's budgeted for, our Honorable Minister of Finance is here. If it's budgeted for sport infrastructure, it is going to come. So for sport infrastructure, I care about all the different mandates of the ministry, but sports infrastructure, I'm a little bit biased, and I can assure you that the sport infrastructure is coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Comrade Dino. Do we go first with Memesh Mariwa? Maris.
Are we still here? Very good, very good, very good. I speak with the permission of Her Excellency to touch on some of the questions that were posed under the space of the Ministry of Finance. I will try my level best also to touch here and there. The first one that touches to the fiscal issues is the capital flights. It's only that the comrade has put so many things in one, but I will try to see if I understood him. One of the things that he mentioned was capital flights. And we are very worried about that, and there is a task force that is looking into that. We call it illicit financial flows. When you see IFF, it's similar to what the comrade has just mentioned. And normally this is practiced by people who do not want to pay tax. So they come up with schemes to try not to spend money in Namibia, and then they use most of the schemes to ensure that they invest the money somewhere else without being taxed. So we are on them, and the report will be soon published. I just wanted to assure the comrade that we are looking into that aspect. He has also then mentioned about it's not ideal for someone to access data, the Namibian data. It's only the way how he put it, but I believe I understood his concern, which is equally our concerns. Nowadays, with this technology, you do not know, the AI is everywhere else, but we are trying by all means to ensure that the service providers keep their data in Namibia. Of course, you will have those ones who do not listen carefully, and then they post things on the cloud, and again, that is accessible by other people. But we are working very, very hard. Our security is tight, so we are good on that front. Then the same comrade also went on to say, why is it that we don't have a bank? Yeah, in fact, he called it a Namibian bank, like other countries. I was trying to understand his question from the angle of, is it a development bank or is it a commercial bank? If it's a development bank, which I believe it is, because he also spoke about venture capital. Namibia, the responsible government of SWAPO, has established the Development Bank of Namibia. And the purpose is specifically how it is meant to assist this country to develop, right? But the country will not develop itself. It is all of us who should come up with the ideas. Then you go now to the bank to access money so that then you can contribute to economic development. And the venture capital that the comrade has mentioned, it is one of the products that is offered by the Development Bank of Namibia. So it is a matter of the councillors, be it the local authorities, the governors, the regional councils, to ensure that we share information with the youth. Because for the fact that the youth has spoken about venture capital, that means he has an idea of how to make use of it if he had access to that information. So that venture capital, like I have mentioned, is a product, one of the products that is offered by the Development Bank of Namibia, with the support, of course, of government. So we are sorted there. However, I want to say, however, not all is rosy. We still have good products, but we have some people who have got wrong attitude. And I think Jennifer has mentioned it, that she has gone to Agribank, again the bank that was established by the responsible government of SWAPO. And she was turned back because she was asked for a collateral. And Jennifer, before I leave this room, you will tell me that person who turned you back with your good idea from a young person and were asked for a collateral without even giving you an idea of what to do next. But anyway, yes, look for me before I leave this room. But I also just want to echo another thing, and this is to Jennifer and everyone else. Had Jennifer known by the time she went to Agribank that there is a National Youth Development Fund that is meant for the youth, right? First, it was from 18 years to 35 years. The responsible government has heard you when you said, can you up the limit of this age from 35, now it is 45. Meaning, Jennifer, for sure, you fit within that range between, don't mention your age, between the age of 18 to 45, you go to that same Agribank and you say, this time around, I have now come to present my proposal under the National Youth Development Fund because there you are not asked for any collateral. Your age is within that range, 18 to 45. You do not need to go to BIPA to register first. You can only register once your proposal is green. Are we together? I went very slow because I want you to understand so that you cannot be pushed back from here to there. You say, no, the president and her executive told us that it's no longer business as usual. She said it's business unusual. And if they push you back from Agribank, it's not far. Minister of Finance is not far from Agribank building. Just come to me. Then we are going to address that situation. We continue. Your Excellency, the other question that came from the youth, again, is on, and it's a good proposal, Your Excellency. The youth were saying that the companies, especially the ones that are now in oil and gas industry, petroleum and everything else, if they could contribute a certain amount, the young ones nowadays, they don't call it anymore CSI. They don't say corporate social investment or responsibility. They call it now ESG. Yeah, environmental social governance. It's the same in our time when we used to say CSI. So they are now, he is proposing that a portion of that can then be made towards the National Youth Fund for Sustainability. That was a proposal from the young person, which we all agree it's a very good proposal. Your Excellency, I will move again quickly to the question that was posed to us. And before I do that, I want to talk to the mental health. And I know the executive, all of us will be touching to the mental health. As a responsible government, we have been researching, trying to understand. This is now the Ministry of Health having shared this information with all of us. To what are the issues that are disturbing the nation, the mental health, right? And it's really a concern. And we want to approach it from a regulatory point of view. And for that, there is a mental health bill that was tabled by the Minister of Health and Social Services in Parliament. We debated it. We are continuing to debate. We had thought it was going to be passed before Parliament went into recess. But because some people did not want to see the success of SWAPO, they delayed the discussions, prolonged the discussions unnecessarily. Therefore, the bill could not be passed before we went into recess, and we are going to continue the discussions of this mental health bill in February 2026 with the hope that it will be passed into law, and then we will then manage the mental health issues from a regulatory point of view. I just wanted to give information from that angle. Your Excellency, there was a question, not very clear, but I want to attempt to it. I think I understood it. The young one was saying, as we were formulating the NDP 6, there was a submission. She titled it, The Plight of the Hardap Region. And they submitted this document to the office of the Prime Minister. The question was now, their proposals, their suggestions, their thoughts, were they incorporated in NDP 6? I believe I understood the question. Now, what I know is that the consultative process for NDP 6 was thorough. All regions, all local authorities, the industries, all of us were consulted. And our inputs were now clustered very, very well in 4 pillars. We call it themes. And you can, just when I mention them, you will associate already your thought as to under which pillar will it fall. Pillar 1, and I will simplify it. Pillar 1 talks to how can we contribute to economic growth. Yeah? I make it very simple so that by the time we leave here, we just say economic growth. Yeah? So it could fall under there. Pillar 2 talks to human capital development, where you find your education, your health, and all other aspects that we need to be skilling ourselves and training ourselves to propel this country from point A to point Z, which is 2030. That is pillar 2. Pillar 3 talks to environmental sustainability, including issues of resilience, right? Even at the community level, how can we be resilient enough to resist the climate change effects? That is pillar 3. And the last one talks to good governance and effective service delivery. How can we ensure that whatever we are given in NDP 6 is implemented in a manner that is reflecting the values of good governance and timely delivery of services for which we are employed? I believe the young one, if you look into those 3 or 4 themes, you might have an appreciation that the aspirations of the pride of the Hardap region have been catered for in NDP 6. Your Excellency, I'm moving fast. I will finish now. But there was one thing that another young person spoke about: procurement. Of course, he used the word tender. Tendering is a component of that big whole process of procuring. This one is really talking to the incoming candidates. There is a law called Procurement Act. And there is a companion document called Local Content, right? And Empowering Youth and Women. The law is there, policies are there, but we do not want to follow them. And you wonder why. The government is saying, pay attention to the youth because we have to empower them through procuring or procurement. Empower women through procurement. But then the tender is floated, is advertised, right? But those ones who have been given the responsibility to do the evaluation, yeah? You wonder why are they not paying attention to the law? The law said preference will be given to companies that have either owned by the youth or they are employing the youth, and so forth and so forth. So we are going to talk to the Central Procurement Board. We are going to talk to all accounting officers to ensure that the youth should be given the opportunity to participate in procurement processes. And that is why you have the SWAPO Youth League Secretary and the Deputy Secretary. Also to monitor us, like the President, Her Excellency has said, monitor us, monitor the local authorities, monitor officers, ministries, and agencies, and ask them, how many companies owned by the young people have you awarded tenders in 2025? Before we go to Christmas, send the circular to everyone. And then if we are not doing anything, you hold us accountable. Because the law is clear, we need to empower the youth through procurement processes. All right. Your Excellency, I'm moving now to the colleague, the comrade from Gibeon. He spoke about physical sustainability. And I was listening with passion to say, really, SWAPO, Your Excellency, the future of this country is in good hands. When a young person is so concerned and she is saying, are we doing things in a manner that we are not going to leave this country in a debt trap? In other words, that is what he is asking. When you say fiscal sustainability, the opposite of it, when it is unsustainable, you are going into debt trap. This responsible government has got physical indicators that we need to be monitoring as we move, right? We know that financing development is not an easy thing. Very expensive. The roads, the rail, the infrastructure, very expensive. Even just to connect one village to another with electricity or water, because of the geographical distances of our country, very expensive. But we know we need to be providing services, right? We only say we need to provide services in a sustainable manner. We look at the revenue that we have, we look at the expenditure that we have, and then, because of course the needs are so many compared to the revenue side, there will always be a deficit, right? And how do we then finance the deficit? Of course, financing deficit through borrowing, concessional, or you say to yourself, maybe we can also offload some of the projects, then they can be implemented through public-private partnerships arrangements. That is how we finance development in the context of Namibia, and we guard very well against the fiscal targets that we have set for ourselves, so that the fiscal sustainability is our song. Last one almost from my side, then the same comrade was asking, how do we diversify revenue? Very good question. Normally, first you look at what you already have as your sources of income, right? We are taxing companies in the primary sector. When we say primary sector, it's now your mining, your fisheries, your agriculture, right? Then we tax those companies in the secondary sector, those ones that do manufacturing, agro-processing, value addition, and so forth. Then we come to the third category, to those ones who render services, your banks, your tourism, everything else. Now, you need now to balance. Some are saying your taxes are too high because revenue comes only through taxing, right? Some are saying your taxes are too high. Others are saying, okay, maybe broaden your tax base. So that is why we are encouraging the young people to come up with businesses so that their businesses can also grow, and then we can broaden the tax base. So please penetrate in tourism, be the guide, be whatever you can, because there are lots of opportunities, especially in tourism and agriculture. Then again, with that, we can then now broaden our tax base. Your Excellency, I believe I'm done with my inputs. Last one, inmates. There was a question, Your Excellency. If I understand the question, that the inmates, same age, put in a single cell. The good thing is that technology is good. I quickly contacted my colleagues at the correctional service, and they have indicated that no, that one is not factual. What is also not true is that you don't put juveniles and adults in a single cell. So that's not on. Your Excellency, I leave it here. Thank you so much.
Are we getting tired? The applause is getting lower and lower. Yeah, that's Hardap. First, let me once again commend the SWAPO Youth League leadership for this initiative and really thank all of you, because most of what you came with were not just questions, but were proposals and recommendations, which means you have thought about these issues, you live here, you know Hardap better, and you are giving solutions. So thank you very much. So I want to go through questions that pertains to the Ministry of International Relations and Trade briefly. I think some of the answers that were given are actually touching on what I also want to say. Let me start with what is the government doing to attract investment to Hardap region? In July, I think, Governor, I came here with my team to Hardap. The President have also referred to that. We have started a program where the ministry, supported by the Ministry of Industries, we have gone to all the regions. We are only left with one, commerce. And this initiative was really informed by the theme of the 8th administration: unity in diversity, beneficiation of our natural resources, youth empowerment for sustainable development. As a ministry, we are responsible for promoting market access, for us to be able to sell what we produce outside Namibia. And we ask ourselves, in order to do that, we have to know what does each region produce. So the purpose was really informed by tailoring investment to each region, making sure that we know that Hardap is producing A, B, and C. When we came here, our takeaways were 4. And those who participated came from all the constituencies. Hardap said, Honorable Minister, for us is agriculture and agribusiness. That was one. The second one was tourism. The third one was what I can call textile. You know, because the South, you are very good with patchwork. Nobody can compete with you in this whole Namibia. And we know that your patchwork can find a market outside. And I remember that the last one, we were referring to these flat stones. And I'll come to those ones. So now, the purpose, as we go around looking for investment, we know exactly what type of investment we will bring to Hardap. And the idea is also to make sure every region gets something. As we say, nobody should be left out. So that is what we are doing. We are working with the Office of the Governor to let him know that this is where we are. We want to finish all the regions first so that some regions cannot be left behind. So and it was not a once-off engagement. When we come back next year to Hardap, we'll then tell the governor, this is what we have found. So that is the response in terms of what we are doing to attract investment but in Hardap is really ripe. You are ripe for investment. Just give us a little bit of time. Then Motinga, you raised a lot of issues. What I simply wanted to let you know is last week I was in, last week I was in Ohangwena region. And because I engaged the Minister of Agriculture, I know that she is on her way to this region. So she will engage the governor and she will answer some of the questions, especially the ones that were posed by our comrade from Malta. But what I wanted to touch on is the Trans-Kalahari Railway. It is not dead. It's very much well and alive. The feasibility study is done, and you are right to say that the plan has been submitted to the council, but nothing is being done about it. Now, it really goes to the reason why we are here. If we want our programs to be implemented, let's put SWAPO councillors in all those offices. That's the only way. Otherwise, things will be submitted, they will sit on somebody's office because they don't want to give credit to SWAPO, and in the meantime, people are suffering. So let's capture all the seats, and then you'll see real progress. Then there was a question on youth entrepreneurship. On that one, I also have good news. The ministry has teamed up with the private sector. We are creating a training center for youth entrepreneurship. The only thing where we are stuck is where to locate the center. It's not costing government anything. They are coming with their own money. The investors are concentrating on 2 regions, Commerce and Erongo, because of the port and the airport. I am the patron of that center. I'm fighting very hard to say, let's not over-concentrate development in those 2 regions because of the ports and airport. Let's take them out. Wherever it is going to be located, it will benefit all the 14 regions. Because you are right, somebody else talked about skills. In today's global economy, without skills, you can't go anywhere. Skills is the way to go, and that's why we are really emphasizing on this training center. And my plea to you, the Namibian youth, is to really take advantage of this center. It's only you who can grow this economy. So that is my question and my comment to that question. Then there was, I think the other question was also on what we are doing to create jobs for the young people. The Minister of Finance have touched on that. It's really value addition. If we send out our materials in raw form, we are exporting jobs. But the other thing also, every Namibian region, each of the 14 regions has competitive advantage. There is something that Hardap region has that other regions does not have. So that is what we need to optimize. Let's add value to our local resources. You know? And when we talk of value addition and regional value chains, it does not only mean that we are targeting exporting to outside Namibia. It's also looking at what is it that is here that is needed in Umsati region, for example. So we need to get out of our comfort zone. Namibia is big and is diverse. Look at what is needed in another region and start taking your products to that region. For example, the flat stones that we are talking about, Governor. And Comrade President, maybe this is something that it's something that really bothers me. I'm asking myself, should we really go to CTM when we are building schools? Can we not use the flat stones for the classrooms? Because then we are creating jobs here in Hardap, but the flat stones will be used everywhere in the region. And in fact, they are more durable than the tiles. So those are some of the things that we need to look at. And then I think, yeah, that was already touched by the Minister of Finance. I want to touch on the issue of drug abuse. That issue was also raised in Erongo. And it was also raised in Omsati region, which means it's becoming a problem. As I said the other time, Namibia is no longer just a transit country. But you know, drug abuse is really something, it's a national responsibility in terms of arresting the problem. We need to work with our law enforcement agencies. You know, let's not cover those who are selling drugs. They are destroying our communities, they are destroying our young people. And for us parents, please let's start parenting. Let's know what our children are doing. We are destroying our future. So everybody has a responsibility. We do not want to be known as a drug-consuming country. No. The port is not there to bring in drugs. So we must keep drugs out of our country, and it starts with you and me. Then, I think that is really what I wanted to say, just to assure you that come next year, you'll see a lot of dust. We mean serious business. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. With your permission, I would like to react to some of the questions that were asked. I think there are 3 that I'll react to. I want to add to the discussion on the mental health. And I'm very happy that my colleague, Minister of Finance, has indicated at policy level our intentions to facilitate the mental health bill, which we believe will assist us to institutionalize the issues pertaining to the mental health. But at programming level, I know in the Ministry of Youth, we have started then looking at life skills initiatives at youth centers that assist the young people to navigate the pressures of life, because this is also part of the mental health. So it's just for us as government to intensify our efforts to ensure that we have these programs that address the issues. We all know the issues of suicide rates that are very high, especially amongst men. Now, as Ministry for Gender Equality and Child Welfare, I see the Secretary is nodding because he's very vocal on the boy child. Your Excellency, we have developed a male engagement strategy because we want to encourage dialogue. We want to encourage platforms where the males are empowered with different various of knowledge and how to deal with issues of mental health. In addition to this, we are also working closely with the Office of the First Gentleman on this initiative because of his focus on the boy child. On the 8th to 9th of December, we will have the National Male Conference, Your Excellency, that we are going to host in Zambezi region. All of these are the initiatives that as institutions, we are trying to see how do we address and give focus to the issues of mental health. Your Excellency, with your permission, I just want to touch base on the question that was asked in terms of why the training that's being provided at Kaikana Hub and other youth centers is not NQA accredited. And I want to just share information in terms of how that training is structured. Government through the Ministry of Youth provides young people with basic skills training. And this was also asked by one of the youth who asked about the grade 10 dropouts. This is to ensure that the young people who have not completed school don't fall through the cracks. So they are provided with the basic skills, be it computer literacy, be it metal fabrication, be it agriculture, so that they are able to employ themselves or also to employ others. Now, secondly, the Kaikana Hub Center why it's now going to be a fully fledged center is to allow those who will be trained at a basic level to articulate into a accredited qualifying course. It's going to be a very interesting concept that can be rolled out then to other centers. Your Excellency, I just want to share more information on what the programs we implement as a ministry for income generating activities, because I heard that a lot of questions coming out in terms of the youth unemployment, in terms of access to fund. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, we have a program we call income generating activity, because we've delegated our functions to the region. This is a program that's implemented at a constituency level. Therefore, it's also very important, I'm joining my colleague from International and Trade, the Honorable Minister, to say, let's go and vote right. Because at a constituency level, this is where these programs are going to be implemented. Secondly, in terms of capacity building for the women economic empowerment, we have a program, Your Excellency, that we run that we call Entrepreneur. With this program, we have start and improve your business. So we come to at a grassroots level where women are being assisted. How do I craft my business plan? Some do not even have any idea, but because of like what Honorable Ambassador Selma has just indicated, that the regions have different competitiveness, you have something that you can contribute to value addition, be it agriculture, then this program provides you with equipment aid that we ensure that our communities are empowered. Lastly, Your Excellency, I just want to touch also on the question of inmates that are put into the same cell for juvenile. As a ministry in this financial year, we have procured, or we are allocated a farm in Khobabes, outside Khobabes from Kaukorus. That is the center that we'll use as a juvenile and a rehabilitation center to ensure that the young people do not find themselves in the cells with adults. Your Excellency, those were my interventions and a contribution to the questions that were asked. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Kantema.
Thank you. Coming from the Minister of Agriculture, though I find it very difficult for me to speak while seated. Coming from the other professional, if I may be allowed to stand up and speak while standing. Are we exhausted? Viva SWAPO Youth League, viva! Viva, oh my, Hardap, viva! Right, thank you very much. I was expecting to have more questions since I'm coming from the most first priority that our excellent have find it fit to put the Minister of Agriculture to be one of the priority. However, I'm seeing 3 questions here, though they were not coming so clear. I'll start with the one that speaks to the toilet, if I understood very well. From the 27th to the 31st of October, the Ministry of Agriculture have launched the Sanitation Symposium that tried to find a strategy how to avoid or how to eliminate the open defecation in rural areas. These strategies covers all the 14 regions. It does not leave out Hardap. While the second one talks about no access of land, access to land. I heard some have borehole, but they don't have space to plow. And there's a desire, there's a feeling of doing agriculture activity, though they are not mentioned. The Ministry of Agriculture have a resettlement program that continues to provide land access to livelihood, and therefore We have 3 modules. We have the high modules. For those who are earning better salaries, we have the moderate ones, that is the medium income, and then we have the low income. So I would want to explain that that's where the youth fits in. So it's just a matter of knowing where do you start. You need to apply and then indicate your initiative that you want to use the land for. We are always readily available to receive this application. You start from the region. We have the land board committee in all the regions that work closely with the governors and all traditional authorities. So youth make use of these facilities when we are in the ACE Parliament for Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. We are not sleeping until that time we find the solution to find the land for all Namibian. Addition to that one, there's a land bill which is in the parliament now. It's unfortunate that our people did not vote in number for the SWAPO Party. So I hope this time around you'll be able to vote wisely so that we have the number that our decision can be easily be passed. So we are struggling to pass these laws because of the opposition or the other counterpart that doesn't see the need of unlocking the potentiality of using the communal land for agricultural purposes. And the last one that I picked from the list that I was given, it is on saline water. The Ministry of Agriculture, still again, Hardap is given the desalination plant in Hardap, that is the area of Aqua Home. So it's a small plant that will try to find a way to assist the community living in that particular area. However, there are many initiatives in place. This is the one that I see is more closer to touch it within the short space of time. Before I end the question that I was given, I wanted also to touch a base. The Ministry of Agriculture have a need, and then this need goes to the young ones who are still in schools. We are running short of qualified personnel in the area that I'm going to mention. So as you are studying in various institutions, it's very much important to look into the agriculture career path. Agriculture career path is quite wide. We have plus minus 20 different job opportunities available. But however, we have a critical need at the moment in plant healthy. And allow me a little bit. So this one goes to those that are still in school, trying to find a space. Instead of fighting to be all teachers, you can still venture into agriculture where opportunity is readily available. For now, we don't have this. Yes, the skill that we need in agriculture for those that are still willing to study, or I can see the young ones, you are still in school. We need more skill or personnel in plant healthy, in plant pathologies and crop science and entomology, and the last one is biosecurity. Namibia can still continue to be self-sufficient in food production, not only in beef and milk and grapes, but we would also want to be self-sufficient in terms of food production from the crops. We should be able to identify the pests and diseases that attack our crops and try to find a mechanism to solve them within Namibian space. Honorable members and youth, my president, allow me to end here. Thank you.
Comrade President, dear comrades, Hardap region, and dear delegates, I was only having one question. And one question is the value addition in the mining areas in Gibeon and Maldia. Yes, I will request the comrade to have a bilateral discussion with me later so that I can find out what is the type of minerals that you are getting there. But one thing that I can tell you is we have a gemstone cutting and polishing in Hardap. So you can also enroll there. This year, the enrollments was advertised. Youth from all regions participate in Hardap. It's a 6-month training on 11 modules, how to cut, polish your stones. Because our president, whenever she is speaking, we hear about value addition. We must benefit from our natural resources. So next year, when we are going to advertise, it is falling under our ministry, please apply through the office of the governor. And I can also offer myself and come down 2 to 3 days, maybe in the office of the governor with the relevant staff members so that we can disseminate all the information through community meetings or one-on-one meetings, and you will have all the information. You can add value, you can make, after this training of 6 months, you can add value through making earrings, bracelets. You can sort your minerals in different type of shapes, the colors, and so forth. We have tourists here in Hardap region, which is the Sosos Flay, the no cloth, and so forth. So you can even sell your products to the tourists. They love the handmade craft. So that is shortly what I want to say. But Comrade President, allow me to say, because I'm very much excited when it comes to job creation. Our youth talk about unemployment today. Now, the type of jobs which is coming to our region under the ministry where I am is maybe more than the youth of Taras and Hardap region. We heard about the green hydrogen. Green hydrogen alone will create 30,000 jobs. 30,000 jobs. And this green hydrogen that I'm mentioning is on page 18 in the SWAPO Party manifesto. So green hydrogen will bring a desalination plant to Ludrats, and that desalination plant will supply water to Ludrats and Aus. Our government already gave 90 million to Ludrats Town Council and 50 million to Aus to expand the town boundaries, which means that they must bring bulk services, water, electricity, sewer. They must build hotels, shops, houses, you name it. It is work, except the 30,000 jobs which is coming. Again, we are talking about manufacturing plants. We need to set up a solar plant there. That solar plant needs employees, workers who will put up that plant. That solar panels needs to be manufactured. That solar panels needs to be cleaned and maintained. There is also jobs. We talk about electrolytes. Electrolytes is where you, how should I say it? It's more technical. Because when you make the green ammonia from the sand, wind, and the water, you will use the electrolytes to transfer this ammonia that you are making. So making these electrolytes is also additional jobs. We will have those ones going to Ludrats. We saw the solar wind in Ludrats. Now we have 11 turbines there. Now green hydrogen will put up 600 of those turbines. And each turbine will have three blades. Imagine how many works is that one coming to the south. Those turbines needs to be assembled. It needs to be transported. And all these things, it's too big when it's transported, because currently we don't have it, but if it's transported, we need to add value by manufacturing it and then come up with a manufacturing plant. For all this, you need to build a new port in Ludrats. So this new port is additional jobs. I'm just mentioning a few, but through green hydrogen, hyphen, and in hyphen, the Namibian government is having 24% shares. Now, hyphen alone will bring 18,000 jobs, from which 15,000 is indirect jobs, 3,000 is permanent jobs, and they will also build 3,000 houses for those permanent jobs. Imagine we talk about employment creation. Those ones having transport companies, you will transport employees to work and back. Those tailors, you will make uniforms. The caterers, you will make food. You name it, different type of those plumbers and whoever, different types of jobs will come. Through the green hydrogen, 128 students were assisted. They got master's degrees, PhDs. They can't hear. Sorry. I thought I'm speaking too loud. That's why I stood back. Yes, 128 children were assisted with grants. So they studied in the field of green hydrogen. Currently, we receive 25 million from the German government. And from that money, we took 45 unemployed youth from Hardap region and 45 unemployed youth from Karas region. Those 90 children currently is studying at NIMT. Those are now plumbers, the boiler makers, the electricians, you name it. We are now making these children ready for the green hydrogen. The oil and gas is under our president because it's her baby. The upstream is under our president and the downstream is in our ministry. But when the oil and gas comes to the south, in the orange basin, they said between the first 6 to 8 years, they will create 19,000 plus jobs. Within the next 25 to 28 years, they will create 26,000 plus work. So those are the number, because I said 30,000 plus 18, it's 48, plus 26, it's 60, 70, more than almost 80,000 jobs, except now the other manufacturing plants that I mentioned. So therefore, if you are not ready, 2027, because all this must happen before 2030, because we talk about the Vision 2030. Start registering your business, be ready from 2028 to 2030, because the jobs will be too many, but we want you also, we the SWAPO government wants to empower you. But the only condition that we want from the inhabitants of Namibia is go and vote for the SWAPO Party. Imagine if you allow the opposition to run the local authority in the regional council, they will never implement what we promised in the SWAPO Party manifesto plan. Under our ministry, we also have the equipment aid projects. So under the equipment aid, already 184 women and youth were trained, and they also receive equipment aid. The only thing is you must be a Namibian company. Your company must be registered at PIBA. You must have a tax certificate, because our current government, the SWAPO-led government, normally the good standing certificate was 6 months. But now, when our Minister of Finance read it in the parliament, we heard that the SWAPO government extended to 1 year. So you no longer need to go and extend it after every 6 months. It is now for 1 year. So you must be a Namibian company registered with PIPA, must have a good standing certificate from finance, from Social Security, Employment Equity Commission, all those. Then you qualify to apply for a loan, or not a loan, it's a type of a grant from our ministry. The amount which you must apply for must not exceed 80,000 Namibian dollars. The only requirement is then if you are successful, you will then pay 10% of the total amount of equipment that you receive. You know, our president, through the manifesto, promised 500,000 jobs. And these 500,000 jobs, SMEs must also help the SWAPO government. As a government, we cannot alone provide these jobs, but each and every one of you can employ 1 or 2 people through these businesses that we are talking. That's why our president is always preaching that we need to empower our youth, because our youth is 71% of our population in Namibia. So my president, I so submit, there are so many, therefore, about the mining licenses, the EPLs, I'm willing to share the information, but I'm offer myself to come to the governor. We will agree when, so that we can share this information on a bilateral basis. So I thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Kroner. Comrade President, before I hand over to you, there is a saying that says, people know you, those that speak out, and not that the ones that cry in silence. So there was a young person here who spoke about having an English qualification with 4 years experience in writing or typing, something like that. Is the comrade still here? Please, so before you leave, you must see me. Thank you, Comrade President.
Thank you very much. I believe we are still awake, yeah? And we are still interested. Okay. No, comrades, we had 24 comrades who participated on behalf of all of us, and really relevant questions have been posed, and very good proposals were also made that we are building on. So the ministers have really responded to the questions and even go further to elaborate on some of the issues. There are only a few that I can touch on, which maybe need further elaboration. One, which was asked, is about, if I understood, but I believe I did, when one of the comrades was talking about the oil, the evolution of the oil industry in Angola, and how this Cabinda looks like now in terms of the fish stock and so on. You are very much right, comrade. It's our concern. Because if I understand, you are saying, what is the impact of the oil and gas exploration to our fishing industry? We are concerned about it. We are engaging the international experts to be with us, to advise us, because for a lay person, I'm just thinking to say, if you are now drilling oil from the surface to the bottom, to the seabed, we say it is 3 meters. And then from the seabed, you drill now down, you go 4 meters. Now, when the oil is coming out, what mechanisms are there to make sure there's no leakage for the oil to mix with the water, and then it will have an impact on the biodiversity in the sea? So we are learning. There are mechanisms of monitoring that, and as I say, we are really depending on technology which is advanced to assist us. But we are alert to see how best we can serve our fishing industry, which is a renewable resource. Then, another issue that was raised, it was the issue of the lack of medicine in our public health facilities. I think this was specifically asked by a comrade from Gibeon, and my sincere condolence, because you said you had a brother who felt sick, then brought to Mariental, unfortunately could not be helped. And that is because of the lack of the medicine in public facilities. We have started working on this. It's only that maybe people do not share information. We might not have served all the country, but there has been really some improvements in a way. The challenge we've been facing, we are spending a lot of money on health facilities, but we noted there has been a lot of leakage, particularly when it comes to the middle person. There is nothing wrong with a middle person, but the problem is how they are doing it. Because they are also Namibian business people. They can also contribute to the growth of the economy. But if you are overdoing it, then that's when the problem is. Now, our middle people, they have been really milking the government. And there has been a lot of unclear administrative issues. So now that we have decided to buy direct from the supplier, we have made savings. You have heard about it, that in the first 6 months for this administration, through the purchasing of medicine, we have made a savings of 221 million Namibian dollars. And the medicine has now started coming. It has started coming, and the ministry has informed the cabinet that the regional structures are also revamped in a way to make sure that when the medicine arrives, it reaches the public facilities where they are. So I'm sorry for the delay if we are still experiencing that, but it's something that we are addressing, and we continue to address it. And then the issue, Gibeon talked about this water spring that are there, and I think Minister of Agriculture, this is why they are referring. We have to see the strength of every institution and constituency, and then we can make use of the resources that are available. The other one, which I can refer to, is the issue of vocational graduates who do not appear in government secular. You are right, maybe in the government secular, I believe that's now when we are advertising, that you talk about university, but that word, an equivalent, it is covering the vocational training. Because if your vocational training is equivalent to what is being asked, then you are covered on that. However, if it's creating a problem, Minister of Finance, let us see what is really the challenge. Because one understood it to say equivalent also refers to vocational training. And then the issue of the power network in the region. Comrades, we have not yet covered the whole country when it comes to the network, communication network. It's not only in Hardap, it's different pockets in the country. You can visit me at my place near Tsumeb there. I think some of you who visit, you know that you have to struggle because of the poor network. So we are really trying to fast track how we can have the network throughout the country. And this is not, it's not an excuse. It's not strange to Namibia. The Minister of International Relations is here. Maybe the situation is now improved. Our former ambassador to New York is here. When I visit New York and go to the ambassador's residence, which is some kilometers from Manhattan, which is the center of New York, I have a serious problem with the network. Here you are talking about America. Yes. It's a process that's moving. So it's not unique, but it's not an excuse. If they are failing, it does not mean we should fail. But I just want to tell you that we are working on that. Maybe now the situation has also improved when it comes to the example that I have given. And then the issue of the minister responsible for trade has really given good information on the college that is coming up. But also, when it comes to the internship, the government, and I thought Dino could explain this better, because the Namibia Investment Board was the one who was given a responsibility. We even amend our tax laws in order to allow the private companies that are taking in young graduates for internship so that they can be prepared for the market, for them to have experience. And we are saying they should be given that internship not less than 1 year, so that they can gain experience to be employed or to employ themselves. So this is one program that we are having in as far as the youth internship is concerned, to make them to be employed. And then there was a direct question now as to what advice the president should give to the young people for them to shape the future of our country. What we are doing here, we are advising the young people. We are empowering you. We are asking you to remain focused, very, very fundamental. It's a pity that our young people of today, unlike us, you have too many parents, particularly those who cannot see their faces. And those are the most dangerous ones. For us, all our parents, we could see them in our homes, in our community. But your parents, is this gadget, which is unfortunately, is not giving you the right upbringing. What I'm advising you really, have face-to-face discussions among yourselves. Empower yourself talking to one another. Face-to-face remains very fundamental. I thought during the COVID, many international conferences were virtual. And I was saying, at the end of COVID, we are no longer going to travel. I'm telling you, we even travel more than before COVID. So telling you that what you are getting through this gadget is not what is going to build you. And we are listening to so many things, a lot of fake news, and this artificial intelligence has now become our parent, and it will not help us. Our young people are no longer, some of them, using their own brain. And that's why I'm always concerned when I ask you to draft my statement, because I'm afraid to be accused of perjury, because you just Google that thing, statement for president going to address the youth in Hardap. Within a minute, the statement is written. That is, you are becoming redundant. So please, I advise you to go to the basics. Let us go to the basics, be focused, and let us listen to one another. Your own parent will never mislead you. And when I talk about the parent, I talk of all the elders around you. So that is really my advice. As much as I'm not anti-technology, we need technology, but we should use it properly. So that is really one. And let us come together where we are called to come together and learn from each other as we are learning now. You see the expertise you are getting from these ministers. How long they've been in the office? Less than a year. But you can see from the ministers to the deputy ministers how they are articulating the work that they are doing. They are interested on what they are saying. And then I'm now invited to Malta Hoye. I want to tell you, I'm coming, if I have to come, but I'm coming for the third time. It's not to say I've never been to Malta Hoye. I've been to Malta Hoye as a Minister of Women Affairs and Child Welfare. There's no village I've not touched in this country. I came to Malta Hoye as a Minister of Environment and Tourism. So now you just say you want the president to come, but I've been there before. I like the place. Time allow, I will come. And then this one, it is answered. Yes, there was one, and how do we create new jobs in the market? This is things that are coming with technology. We are embracing technology without knowing that as we are embracing technology, technology will take up some of our work. One time I was talking with somebody who we were talking about spraying the mosquitoes in our rural areas. And very impressive, these people tells me, so you see, now we can use the drones. We just buy drones and then we go and spray in the areas, and with no time, we have finished the spraying of the mosquito. I say, comrade, you are right. But those people who are carrying the jerry can now, going house to house spraying, how are you going to employ them? What's the substitute? And you are going to buy that drone made by somebody, which means you are creating jobs to where the drone is being made, and destroy your own jobs, and our people remain in poverty. So it's true. Now we should also try to think how to reskill. And this takes me now to the issue, though it's already answered. of the unemployed teachers. In fact, there are two groups of people where we have a lot of people who are unemployed. It's the teachers and the nurses. And you know what? Maybe because of the history where we came from, that those were the reserved jobs for Namibian during the colonial time. And now we are just encouraging our children to go for nursing and to go for teaching. And then there are now those who are taking advantage. There is a lot of teachers and nurses training colleges in this country. But I want to tell you, we are going to put an end. We are going to put an end because we cannot just be training for the street. I have been saying it in 2022, I have been saying in 2023 and 2024 that the training institution should talk to the market, and the market should talk to the training institution. What is said here by the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, telling us where the gaps are, that is where our people should go. We are not talking about oil and gas. That's where our people should go. So teaching and nursing, they become too many. We should not hide. And you know yourself, when you are encouraging your child to go and do teaching or nursing, you are sending the child into the street because you know there are already many. The government has even to stop training nurses. We closed that college because this private, they are doing it, but now we are going to control. Some, we don't even know whether the teachers, they are qualified. And that's why 2 weeks ago, the cabinet has agreed on the standard. We must have one standard in terms of the students you are enrolling. If you are enrolling them in the science subject, it should be the same points across the country. Your teaching staff must have the same qualification across the country so that we can really balance our training and the labor market. So it will start next year. And I'm told the whole industry has been consulted. Then the other one, which was asked if the other one that was is recreation facilities for the youth. I think it's part of the sports and recreation that we really need. And here we need municipalities to buy in. When we are designing our municipalities, we also need parks. Just when you are in town, you want to take your children out, there must be a park where you are going to take the children, because that is part of recreation as well. So we have to make it as one of our priority area in that one. Then there's a comrade who is having very good proposal, and they came here well prepared. She wrote me a letter. I'm going to take it very serious, this letter. The establishing a national controlled commercial bank for Namibia, sovereign and economic empowerment. So I think we need to look at this, Minister of Finance, because that's why he made reference for different countries that are having banks. We were trying to do that. What is this bank? The bank we call ours. Yes. Seed Savings Bank. Yeah, you remember in the initial days of our independence, we had established Seed Savings Bank. That was the idea. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But I think now, if we have people of this caliber, such a bank could work. And then moving forward, it can even become an international bank. I really want us to think high. And Minister of Finance, Minister of Trade, I think you have a homework to do, to look into this matter very seriously and then see how far it can take us. Finally, we all talk about mental health. It's a very serious thing. That's why we all talk about it. Comrades, these elections will mean a lot. Our parliament has been sitting for the past 80 months. No single law has been passed. No single law has been passed. And if you are following, the debate is just questions, motions, deliberately to paralyze the parliament, in a way to paralyze the government so that we don't have the laws. Can we allow this to happen at the regional and municipal area, level? We are already seeing it in the parliament. The mental health bill, it's an important bill. When it was introduced, it was like everybody was supporting it, and all of a sudden, it has not gone through. This is what we are experiencing now. The agricultural bill, which has been postponed, it was in parliament even before and withdrawn. It's delayed. We don't know if, maybe until February, when the parliament resumes, we have a gap here. So please, I appeal for me to work. I'm ready to fulfill the mandate you gave me, to meet the promises and the commitment I have made. But one person cannot pick up, one finger cannot pick up a needle. With this team, we are committed. But if the regional and municipalities weak, we are not going to, they are going to frustrate. What we are seeing in that parliament is a frustration of the lawmaking process. We are already seeing it. It's not hidden. You are all watching it. So tell the people that do we want our development to be kept hostage? Like what we are seeing now, the parliament being kept hostage just by interjections, prolonged debates. It does not work like that. So that is the challenge, comrades. That's my fear. And you, Namibians, you are the one ready to empower me in order to deliver what we have promised the people of Namibia. So these are the answers to the questions that were raised, and really, you have seen the quality of your cabinet.
SWAPO. We are sleeping. SWAPO. SWAPO. Now. Thank you, Comrade President and your team. I don't know. This is now giving me some Congress vibe. It's taking us into that direction. I just wanted to ask, with the permission of the President, if perhaps, if possible, perhaps whilst we are waiting for the food and the refreshment, if we can take maybe 5 people with maximum 2 questions, if possible. whilst we are waiting on the food and the refreshment. So 5 people. Do I have the permission? Okay. Okay. DJ, just a short music break. Let's stretch a bit. Okay, thank you. I'm directed again to say we will take 5 people, 1 question per person. Are we together? 5, 1 question per person. And please, we keep it short, straight to the point. 5 people. At least people that didn't get any chance. Yeah. Also, whilst we are there, I know there might be people that are not ready to pose their questions here. I will give through an official cell phone number for the SWAPO Party Youth League, where you can forward your questions, and those questions will then be tabled with the relevant ministries. So, if I can just give that number first before we go to we take the questions. We can write it somewhere. 081 55 44 777. 081 55 44 777. That is a number where you can formulate and forward your questions. It will be channeled to the right ministries. So, can we take the 5? So I see it's only 1. But okay. So I see it's only 1. I trust the panelists are ready. Are we ready? Okay.
Good evening, Your Excellency, the President, and the ministers. Indeed, it's very heartening for us to see that we would be able to engage the ministers, the president, and get questions that are spot on answers.
Yeah. Comrade, can we, especially the young ones, Comrade answer? Please, if we may just sit, then we listen to the question. We only have 1 person, okay? Please.
Yeah, it's very encouraging and I look out to the next 4 years of this government, this administration, some of us that are very much interested in the developments, one could see in the first 2-3 months that the manifesto of the SWAPO Party is implemented. And as someone who is watching the developments in the country, I was not surprised. But be as it may, Comrade Minister, I might probably sound radical in framing my question. But for the past 10 years, I've been traveling. I've seen different ministers and PSs of the Agriculture Ministry. And some people are using the land issue as a political game. But we know that from land that generation wealth is created. And that's why the former oppressors are one step ahead of us. That's why, Minister President, I said I might probably sound radical and aggressive. But through my applications, to start here at the Fish River here, Comrade Minister, I've seen Mr. Ngarusep, Minister Ngarusep, I've seen different PSs, because I know that close to 500 hectare land, Pigeon land, is lying along the Fish River. And also I know that I've taken on myself, I wrote to the CEO of Namibia Dairies, because they have a farm here, extra land is not, they are not going to use that land for future development. But because of the 99-year lease agreement, that land that we can, that is the land that just opposite the disused reservoir as you travel to the north, next to the, and I've wrote to the, 2 years ago, I wrote to the CEO of that company, I said, no, why don't you give an indication to the government that you're not going to use that land? Because we need that land, but that land is tied up because of the 90-year lease agreement. And I've even said to the minister, and the same thing in Orange River, when you get there to the Orange River, right next to the Orange River, it is the former disadvantaged people. It's lily white, sorry to use the term, Madam President. And I was saying to the minister, Ngarusep, why don't we deliberately apply affirmative action on the banks of the Orange River and deliberately get our people there? Because that's the only way we can generate, create generational wealth. If you look at the Fish River here in Mariental, it's the same thing. Those that have gotten land are fortunate that there is 5 hectares. But Minister, Mr. President, through you to the Minister, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, there is something that probably, and even not even the ministers, all the regional constituency councillors that were here, I engaged them around, get us land release along the Fish River. Because, and to bring into context the issue of the plan for the people of the South, plight of the people of the South, probably that was cabinet resolution under President Bohamba, to give context. You know, how that resolution came about is that after the flood here in Mariental, the president appointed a task team to go in and study how, through agricultural practices, how the flood issue can be mitigated. And one issue amongst that was that this land along the Orange River should also be used for high-value crops. Because as we know, it is used for lucerne. And that one of the recommendations of study is high-value crops. And there is that this reasoning from the current owners of land that it has got too high salt and content, that the land. But Minister President, in short, my concern that I raise around the issue of land and how it could be released. Because some of us have been running around. Some of us are not using this for politics. I even went to the extent, and I went to Comrade Mumbala. And I said, comrade, give me a letter. And the minister said one answer, but no, you cannot bring in SWAPO into this thing, you know. So that is desperation. I knew it's a government thing, but I thought, but it's also SWAPO government. So I should not get a letter from my regional coordinator. I thank you, Mr. President, Madam President.
Okay, before maybe we go to that answer, I'm just reminded here, a young person here is reminding us that we didn't answer the question on postgraduate. Yeah, on postgraduate. Maybe also that. If there is no other question, perhaps we can go to the answers. Yeah, free. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's true. There was a question on the postgraduate, whether they will be part of the subsidized. I have to avoid that word, the free. We are talking about subsidized high education. And you even give an example to say, as they do it in Finland. You gave that example of Finland. You know, for now, really, we cannot take a risk of promising things that we might not implement, but allow us to start with those who are coming in, and then we will see in the process how we are going to move forward. So I know it was discussed about the postgraduate, but we say let us really try to give the people the graduation, because you might find some people who are in the postgraduate, it's true, there might be a specific skill that is you needed at that level. Then that could be a different case. But for us, as we are starting to open it all, it might become very difficult. It's not that we do not value the postgraduate, but it's things that we have to do face in as you are moving. Another thing I have to tell you, for those who are already in the system, those who came in through NSFAS, their studies are not going to be interrupted. So I have to make that clear. So that is really the situation in which we are, and as far as the subsidy to higher education is concerned. Yeah, I hope I've answered.
Yes. Thank you, Comrade President.
Yeah, and then now there was a question on the land, which it was mentioned here. This is a very specific question with a specific land. The comrade say he has been dealing with it for the past 10 years. And as I'm sitting here, not knowing the details, I will not even try to attempt to ask the deputy minister, but just to ask that you can meet the deputy minister who's here, not possible today. I will just to give her the matter at hand, and then she go back to the office, have a discussion with the minister and the staff, understand, and through the governor's office, we will be able to give the response back to the comrades as to what is really at stake. So that is really my response on that specific issue of the 99 list. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade President. I think you have done justice to those questions. I see there is no more other signal to that, to any question. So I just have to say that you just solidified and attested to what I said in the beginning. That is indeed what a listening and a caring leadership does. So thank you, Comrade President, and your team. Thank you. Yeah, bit of music, and the panel is released for now. Finish it. I think I'm going to reflection. Let me ask. Vote of thanks.
Thank you. I even forgot I have a voice. But here we are. I hope we are not too tired. I mean, it's a joyful mood. The spirits must be high. Viva SWAPO, viva! We are almost at the end of our program. And without wasting any more time, I would like to call upon the stage my regional coordinator, Comrade Joplin Goddess, on this, I hope I got that right, I hope, to give us the vote of thanks. You may be seated, comrades. Thank you.
Thank you. Viva SWAPO, viva! Viva SWAPO, viva! Aluta! Thank you. Comrade President, allow me to say, Comrade, my President, Hardap is grateful. Comrade Youth Secretary, Hardap has a joyful heart. You have allowed Hardap to speak, and we have spoken. On that note, I would say, Comrade President, allow me to say all protocol observed as it was established in the beginning of it all. I want to start my vote of thanks by saying that there is a Bible verse that says, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Today, I have picked up in a very small conversation that there is so much lack of information amongst us regarding the governance. And today, young people, you are fortunate to have your president in your midst, speaking to you, listening to you, getting some insights from you that will help us with our governance. I have noted a few things here on my list. The first one is I said, I can recall when we went into office 2022, I told Comrade John, the youth secretary, in his absence, noting that he had written to me a note saying that he is watching us and he is joyful. I told him that I would want the Hardap SWAPO Party office to be an information hub. And today, once again, proves to me that we need to establish something like that, Comrade Secretary. The office of the Youth League needs to be an information hub where people will get all sorts of information regarding governance. Because our people, many a times, don't access things because they don't know where the door is, not just because of ignorance. Therefore, Comrade President, my suggestion, we need an information hub at the SWAPO Party offices regionally.
We are too few to be poor. It's a statement. And it's a true statement. With information, which is power, we will be able not to be poor. The president in the beginning said that when she looks at the national service, she would advise all parliamentarians to join the national service. And I agreed with her in my sitting room where I was seated. And today, once more, it proves. When asked, what is the advice you are giving? She said, face-to-face communication, discussions, and talks. Many of us are parents here, but some of us have not even shown our children how to make an ordinary thing pap. Some of our daughters don't know how to mix and make pap in our own houses. That's how much lack of knowledge and communication that is happening. I appreciate the young person that could ask the president, because the president has told me that we need to meet regularly. During the week, we had some engagements, and I told the youth, sometimes you do things like games. Unfortunately, we could not do that specific game. I said, I would love to see all the local authority candidates playing a game named Monopoly, so that I would see what is their heart's desire regarding our towns. Because the minute you are taking everything for yourself, I would see how selfish you are. But the minute you are selling out everything, I would also see how a sellout you can be. And then we need to do something serious regarding that. Not taking you too long, allow me to say thank you to the SWAPO Party Youth League. Comrade Ephraim, you would not understand how much I appreciate this specific event. And I'm pleading. And my plea to the young people is, does not need to happen in a bigger group only. But where you are, you can engage and call the ministers. These are our ministers. Today you see them here. It's not impossible to get them to your smaller groups as well. So please, let's continue doing this until the end, until we have reached what we need to reach. On that note, thank you to everyone that has made it to Hardap, and thank you to all the ministers and the cabinet present here. We are feeling that we have voted you rightfully, and you have served the nation of Hardap rightfully. Comrade President, we appreciate you, and we appreciate what you are doing. Your service delivery, it's talk of the town. And that note, thank you.
A round of applause to our regional coordinator, please. It's getting late, and we have to take cognizance of the time as well. We are closing off. That is what I would want to say. Everything else has been said. I would just want to ask all the comrades to please stand to attention so that we sing the party anthem, and the party anthem only. Mr. DJ, I'll give you a signal. Right, Mr. DJ, let's start. Thank you. You may be all seated. Oh, no. Sorry. My apologies. My apologies. I would love you to remain standing as the Honorable Her Excellency Comrade Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah makes a way out. Just please give way here.